Hi and good morning, welcome back to the channel. As you can see, first time out today with the rack on. Yes, we'll get the bag and pop this on as well. I don't know if you've already watched the let me just see if I can get this right. Already watched the video fitting this. Very simple, obviously, but I did a little video for anybody who's new to messing with bikes. There we go, looks good, doesn't it? So we'll see how that goes today, and I will see you down the road. Yes, well, thanks for joining me again. And I've just looked at the temperature on my phone, and it is 2 degrees, so very, very cold. Well, for me it is. I know some of you brave people from other parts of the world will think that's balmy, but got to be a little bit careful just in case there's any ice around. It's possible there could still be some. I was watching the Mindful Motorcyclist. That's another video channel that I've seen. He's actually from around these parts. He lives in Worcester, I believe. Never met him, but he fell off his BSA. I don't know if you've seen that. He had an accident just on an ordinary dry corner. A very strange accident actually, but it makes you realise how careful you've got to be, because it's considerably colder where I am at the moment, and it's damp. So ooh, hope that car stays there. Wait. Yes, we're alright. Yes, it just makes you take a little bit of extra care, doesn't it, when you see an accident like that. So today I was going to go through some of my I was looking actually on the computer last night, and I thought I'm going to go through my eBay list of searches that I've got for motorcycles on my eBay list of searches. They're quite interesting actually. Well, it is interesting to me, obviously. I thought I'd run through them for you and show you the bikes that I've been looking at lately. It's not an exhaustive list of the bikes I'm looking at, but just gotta, I don't think I'll go around the outside of this. Normally I'd overtake there, but do you know what? I don't think I'm going to overtake on a bend today, just in case. I'm going to get past it now though. There we go. Yeah, proper cold today. Although it's obviously not raining, and it's bright. It's very bright, very nice. Enough about the weather. Let's go through my eBay list. Oh, the other thing I wanted to mention was a camera position. I'm not sure whether this is going to work at all actually, because I had one of my mounts that snap on me, so I've had to completely redo the camera and fit it again, and I'm not 100% certain yet. I haven't had a chance to actually test it, so this will be the test for the new camera position. It's exactly the same as it was before almost, but it's just whether the angle's correct. And ironically, I've got a cheap camera, as you know, in a Casso, but the only part in the fixings that I'm using that is GoPro, which was the clip, has broken. It snapped yesterday when I took the camera off, so, and all the other cheap parts, including the camera itself, were working perfectly. So there we go. So what bikes are on my eBay search list that I'm looking at? As you know, I'm after another bike to join the CL in the stable. A bike that may end up being my only bike if I sold the CL or not. I don't know yet. I'm hoping to keep the CL. I think I love the bike, and there's no reason not to, but we'll see. Well, the first one on the list, and I'll go from sort of least likely to buy to more likely to buy, I think. One of the ones that I still look at, but not very likely to buy, I don't think, and that's a Triumph Trident. Now, I'm a Triumph fan, let me tell you. I love Triumphs. I think they're excellent. I've had a number of Triumphs over the years. Bonnevilles, Street Scramblers, Street Triples. I've had 3 Street Triples. Love them. And the Trident, so, is a sort of would be a natural bike for me to have in many ways. A slightly toned down Street Triple. But for some reason, don't think it's going to do it for me. I don't think it's just not really my cup of tea at the moment for some reason. I do know a guy, John, who comes to the cafe regularly, who's got one, and he absolutely loves it. So that's number 1 on my list. Another one is a GSR 600, the old Suzuki GSR 600. Now, when I bought my Street Triple, the GSR 600 was a bike I actually test rode at the same time, because I just happened to have one in the Triumph dealers many years ago. This is. I'm being tailgated at the moment by this lorry. Absolutely ridiculous. Right up my backside. Anyway, so I might pull over in a minute actually, because this guy seems like he's out to get me. So the GSR 600, I chose a Street Triple over it instantly. I thought it was much more interesting and exciting bike to ride, which it is. But I've always for some reason had a little thing over the GSR 600. It was the Baby B King, the style of it. If you remember the old Suzuki B King, which was the Hayabusa engined 1300cc monster street bike of the time. It's like a mini version of that. But the trouble with that bike is the 600 is trying to find a good one, obviously, and I went to look at one, funnily enough, a couple of days ago locally. Looked absolutely immaculate on the pictures. Of course, as you get there, you realise it's not, and they were not negotiable on the price, so that sort of put me off, and I don't think I'm likely to find one of those. Another one which I probably won't be having, but I still can't help looking at, is another bike I've actually owned in the past, and that's the Aprilia Tuono, the original one, based on the RS3000 sports bike with the Rotax engine in. I can't help but keep looking at those. I had one brand new, one of the few bikes I've had new many years ago. I'm trying to think what registration it was now, so as to what age it was. Do you know, I can't think. It might have been an 04. Yes, I think it was an 04, so God, we're talking 20 years ago. Oh, where does the time go? Honestly, 20 years ago. Yeah, but I had one brand new. It was an offer I couldn't refuse sort of jobby. It was a parallel import, or grey import one, from DK Motorcycles, which was a big dealer in parallel imports. And I had a fantastic offer on it. I couldn't refuse on a brand new one. And actually another bike that's on my list, which I'll bring in now, is the Honda Hornet 900, and that's another one I've had in the past. And the Hornet was the bike I part exchanged in for the Tuono, in actual fact. I'll have to tell you the story of that one day, but the salesman made a huge cock up and offered me too much for my Hornet. And obviously I went, yeah, okay. But it was, I think he got his numbers wrong somewhere along the line. Oh dear. I've still got this massive lorry right up my backside. What on earth is the matter with this bloke? Why he feels the need to do that, I just don't know. Yeah, so Honda Hornet, that's another one that's on the list, but again, the problem with that is finding a good one these days. They all seem to got a lot of miles on them. I did come close to buying one a couple of months back. I saw a guy at the cafe with one, but in the end of the day he wanted too much for it. It was a very nice one, but I thought, yeah, he wants a bit too much for that really. I think he was trying it on, but then again I did come to him and say I'd be interested in buying that if you're thinking of selling it. So immediately the price goes up, doesn't it, when you do that. So that's a Hornet 900. What else is on the list? Another one is the Guzzi V7, Moto Guzzi V7. The 850 version, the latest version. I've always had a thing about Guzzis, which I've mentioned in the past. So that's on my list. I was looking recently at actually a category N write-off, which is the minimum category, because it was just so cheap, and yet it was quite a brand new bike almost. Only done about 4,000 miles I think, and all it had was a dent in the tank. And I never went to look at it in the end, and it is sold now, but it was so cheap, so reasonable. And I've never really considered a category N bike before, but I thought if that genuinely is the only damage, of course you don't know whether it's been partially fixed up and that the damage was originally a lot worse, so I didn't end up pursuing that one. So that's a Moto Guzzi V7. A few strange ones I've got on there. Well, one strange. I've got a Hunter 350 on there actually, the RE. Now I can't really see me ever buying that. It's too slow for me, to be quite honest, and for the type of riding I do. But I've got this. I've sort of got this intrigue about Royal Enfields, I must admit, because everyone they're pushed at you, aren't they, on YouTube so much. And of course, if I wanted to build my channel, the one thing you do is you just buy an RE, because you immediately attract loads and loads of people because they're so popular at the moment. But I suppose the only way I'd buy a Hunter is if I found one, again, very, very cheap, possibly with a little light damage to it maybe, and did a little project doing it up. So that'd be an interesting little project to do. So I've got that on there probably for that reason. Coming to bikes I'm more likely to buy. Triumph Bonneville, the T100. Lovely bike. I'll be honest, I think they're overpriced, pretty expensive, but they're a lovely bike and they're beautifully built, and I'm not knocking them in any way, but they certainly do hold the price, don't they? So that would be, again, the right one at the right price. I'd probably jump in there. On the Bonneville front, the other one is the Speed Twin. I've always had an inkling for one of those, and it would probably be, this is a Speed Twin 1200 by the way, rather than the 900 version, although that would be of interest. But the Speed Twin, again at the right price, I don't think I'd be able to resist if I could find one. Lovely bike, quick. I test rode one a couple of years ago when I had my Street Scrambler 900 Triumph, and I enjoyed it, although I must say I prefer the engine on the 900. I thought it was just a bit of a nicer engine, but I've still got this thing about the Speed Twin, the 1200, and I'd probably have one and go for it and try it. Again, if I found the right model. And then there's a couple of Kawasaki's. Z900 RS, which I was really into at one time, but I'm not really a four-cylinder man, despite a couple of bikes I've already mentioned. So the other one that's on there is a Z650 RS, which I have been very close to buying in the past. I wanted the green one with the gold wheels, which to me is the only colour to have a Kawasaki in. So that interests me. The only thing is, that is an old engine on that bike, isn't it? It's a old engine. And there is another bike which is possibly top of my list at the moment, which is the new Suzuki GSX 8S. There's something about that bike. I know it looks Divide and it's very strange looking. And why aren't I looking at the Hornet 750? Well, I am. But between the two, it's a bit of a toss-up between those two, I think. At the moment, they're probably, I would say, is top of my list. But the GSX 8S, something about it just intrigues me. I know it's torquier than the Hornet, and I do love a torquey bike. So that's probably why it's top of my list at the moment. So that's the ones in my eBay list currently. It doesn't mean I'm going to buy any one of those. It could be something completely different, but we'll see. So here we are. We're here. Oh, Roy's here on his Honda. I'll park next to him. Very nice, that. It's 1100. Lovely. Right, that's all for me. Thanks very much for listening to me chattering on about motorcycles. Let's just check the bag's still there. Yes, the bag's still there. I think I've done a decent job with those 2 bolts. Right, that's all for me. Thanks, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.